webinar molto
Веду
importante.
сегодняшний вебинар.
Hello, this is soundcheck. Okay, perfect. Now we're waiting for Dragoš to set up his microphone. Okay, great. Now we are ready to roll. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear friends, leaders, partners all over the world. I'm very glad to be starting this webinar. My name is Dragoš, and I'm going to tell you some very important news. Quite important because today is an incredible day. Because all of you, and look, before I say anything, I wanted to say that I adore, simply love the logo you see on the screen. Oh, actually, you don't see it on your screen, but you will eventually. And I would like to thank the Crypto Unit program and all people involved in it for this great opportunity. Allow me to introduce myself. Please switch on next slide. My name is Dragoš Stanchu. I'm a representative of the Presidential Council. I'm also a NEEW Consumer Community Partner Program President, a NEEW Consumer Community Leader in Italy, and also a certified Master Profit Coach and Genius of Finance host. Also, I am a member of the association called Generals of the World for Peace. I'm an entrepreneur, a speaker, and a professional investor. So, let's go back to the slide that we had before on our screen. Today, we have some breaking news, incredible news. We have approached the launch of the internal exchange of CRU points. So today, on the 7th of March 2020, we are going to tell you some news, some very important news that you simply must share with the entire world. And this great opportunity that has been provided to all of us, and the growth that we all can witness today. Let's talk about the agenda of today's webinar. Now, first, we're going to talk about the release or unlocking of Crypto Unit points. Then we'll talk about the launch of the internal exchange of CRU. Then we'll tell you step-by-step instructions and conditions for submitting applications for the internal exchange of CRU, and how we can convert SW pre-IPO equity shares. And we'll talk about the results of the blockchain solution development tender. And then we'll give you some company news as well, and we'll have a Q&A section too. Now let's start our work. Let's put up the next slide. Okay, unblocking slash release slash unlocking of the first points for CRU tokens. And thankfully, Andrei Havratov decided to give us this opportunity of diversification, because at first we started with the purely technical or technological project, which is the Innovative Transportation Systems project. But as you can see, we actually haven't earned a penny yet from that project. But we are patient and we're still waiting. And now we are on the verge of a really big breakthrough. And it's not only that we are on the verge of it, we have already been making some money from that program as well. And during this webinar, we are going to show you all that is happening with our company and things that can help you make money as well. Earn quite substantial amounts in future. Let's move on. Now, lockup opening or unlocking. Unblocking of CRU token points will happen in 350 or 11.5 months later, or after the payment our partners made for EIPs, which included bonus points for CRU tokens. What it actually means? It means that at stage 1, after the immediate launch of our program, people who bought any EIP will have their tokens released 350 days later, which is equal to 11.5 months. So guys, at the moment, I would like to simply give a standing ovation to the company, because it indeed managed to deliver on its promises. And it allowed us to launch the conversion. Well, let me give you an example. And through that example, you will be able to see how it all actually works. So let's suppose that you made a purchase on the 30th of March 2019. Then your token points will be released from the 1st of March 2020 to actually, there is a mistake in this slide. It should have been not from the 1st of March, but from the 7th of March, and will continue up to and including the 20th of March 2020. Or another example. Let's imagine that you made a purchase on the 15th of June 2019. Then your lockup opening or release of your token points will happen 11.5 months later, i.e. from the 10th of March 2020 to the 5th of June 2020. The CRU points that will be released will be shown displayed in the back office of your unique CRU back office personal account. So you can all see how many points have been released in your case in your own back office in the portfolio section. Let's move on to the next slide. Now, lockup opening. Bonus points for tokens received as MP rewards for the purchase of VIPs, which included bonus points for CRU tokens in 540 days, or 1.5 years, or 18 months. Again, we are talking about the bonus points received as MP rewards, marketing plan rewards. So what it actually means? It means that the bonuses that we received as a reward from our network that sold EIPs, all those bonuses that we received, the CRU or CRU token points, will be released within 540, or better, in 540 days, which is equivalent to 1.5 years. This is very important so that you can understand. And you know, here in the bottom, you can see the actual rules for unlocking. So when 1% is unlocked, then the package which was bought by you individually will be unlocked as well within the first stage of our program. And the duration will be from 1 to 6 months, or better, the period of unlocking. Then later it will be 1.5% per month, which will last from the 7th month to the 12th month. Then we'll have 2% per month released within the period starting from the 13th month to the 18th month, then 3% per month during the period of months 19 to 24, then 5% per month from the 25th month to the 35th month. And as you can see, full or 100% release tokens will occur 35 months later. So we're trying to, what we do here is we take all of our tokens, both the bonus points and the main points. Bonus points, again, I repeat, for received as MP rewards for the purchases of EAPs during phase 1. If I try and think about it, a question arises right away. Why should a new client buy EIPs that I personally would like to sell on the internal market? Why shouldn't that partner go to the Academy of a Private Investor and buy directly from it? I'll explain you why. This is very important. We are selling our bonus points according at the established price, and the price is established by our company, and my colleague is going to tell you all about it. Starting from $50 to $500 per package. Those who would like to purchase through the Academy of a Private Investor, they can do it by purchasing bigger packages. But their tokens will be released in 350 days, which means 11.5 months. So those are the figures that we saw on the previous slide. But if they purchase those points on our internal market, then that person will be purchasing already released tokens, which will lead to the eventual increase of the token price. And it will allow that person to make some money from it. Let's move on to the next slide. So this is the, it says statement, but it should have been staking. Staking for holders of unblocked CRU. So again, staking is a kind of a remuneration for those who personally want to transfer, or let's say deposit their released CRU points onto a depot account for staking. So in this case, we're talking about an interest rate established by the company if a person decides to not to sell their released tokens, but instead put them on a deposit account. As you can see on the table, if I put my CRU points on a depot account and I deposit them for 1 month, I'll get 1% interest rate. If I deposit my points for 3 months, I'll get 1.2%. If it's going to be a 6 months deposit or staking, then I'll get 1.5%. If I deposit them for 12 months, I'll get 1.8%. Yes, guys, it's staking. It's a typo from the translators. Then it's, if I deposit for 18 months, it's 2%, and for 24 months, it will yield me 2.5%. So, and I had this idea come to me. And we will tell you later what kind of benefits you are going to have if you join our VIP club. And guys, if you want to make some more money, then I strongly advise you that you join our VIP club. So you will see that you don't really need to sell your released CRU token points, but deposit them, put them on a depot account, and earn some interest from it. It's like having a goose that lays golden eggs. And if I decide to eventually sell my released points, it's like cutting the head off that goose. But if I put that goose in a shed, then it is exactly like putting my released points on a depot account and reap the rewards or the benefits of that my golden egg laying goose can give me. And as you can see, you receive remuneration in CRU points. Accruals will be made monthly. And let's not forget that unblocked released CRU points will be accrued as well. Remember, they are released, free to sell, free to do whatever you please with them. And there will be a possibility for you to trade them on the internal exchange. So when you join the VIP club and have all those opportunities that membership in the VIP club can offer, and my colleague will cover this topic, I'm sure that you will follow my advice. Just put a plus in the chat if you understood my example of the golden egg laying goose. Oh, great, thanks. I'm happy that my message got through. Now, I would like to pass the floor to my colleague, who is going to tell you very important information. His name is Andrew Hawks, who will help you understand how our project evolved. Andrew Hawks is our great leader and representative of the Presidential Council. He is a NEEW Consumer Community Partner Program President, a certified master profit coach and genius of finance host, member of the Association Generals of the World for Peace, and also Andrew is a specialist in marketing and sales, a private investor, entrepreneur, international speaker. He's a great leader that can pass on any information and preserve the importance of that information, and any message that he ever delivers arrives at its destination point. And he will tell us how we can achieve 10 million partners mark in our company. Thank you very much, and our warmest regards from Italy to you. Andrew, you have the floor.
Thank you, Dragos, my friend, for that very, very warm welcome. You're too kind. I'm just here the same as everyone else, and enjoying myself in the process and just trying to deploy this information as best we can. It's we have such an amazing opportunity ahead of us. We have a very visionary CEO who only wants the best for us. You know, guys, Andre doesn't need to be doing this. He's self-made. Obviously, he wants to keep his hand in something to keep him active, but he's doing free diving and things like that, you know, enjoying his free time. Yet he can see he has a conscience about what's happening in the global economy and really wants to give people, can you guys hear me okay? I should have asked first. Give me a plus if you guys can hear me in the chat and see me. Yep, perfect, cool. So guys, he has a conscience and really can see what is happening in the global economy and wants to make sure people are equipped to deal with what is going on. And to be honest, let's look, if we're really honest with things, there's a large portion, a large part of the majority of the population that aren't prepared. And I believe while we learn this education, while we apply this education, while we empower ourselves, we owe it to others to empower them to do the same. And that's really why I continue to show up and stand up and be counted for what I believe in. So I'm going to leave my mark on this earth, and this is one of the ways I'm going to do it. You guys can all do the same. You can all jump in that vision and own it too. So guys, please come with me. So ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know who I am, Dragos did introduce me. Thank you, my friend. Nothing but love and respect for you. I am a father first. I have 3 beautiful children. My eldest now living in London. She's been there for 10 years on 10 years on Tuesday. Sorry, 1 year on Tuesday, on the 10th, right? 1 year on Tuesday. She's loving it over there, although she is starting to get a little bit homesick now. My youngest 2, 8 and 10, both very much, or all 3 of them very much a big part of this business and understand the vision and the importance of what we're doing. So, look, I don't need to go through everything that Dragos went through there. Just know that, guys, I'm here for you. I'm here for this because this is a very powerful way forward for us all. So now let me see if I can get this mouse working again so I can actually move these slides there. Okay, cool. So guys, the anticipation is mounting. Give me a 5 if you're a little bit excited. Give me a 1 if you're not so much. Lots of 5s come. Oh, yeah, a couple of 1s, not so much. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can turn the 1 into a 5. So as you can see on the screen there, guys, the launch of our internal CRU exchange. Now, I hope you're excited from what you've already heard from Dragos. Obviously, having our tokens unlocked, being able to stake them and get a return on them. Now, I don't know if you guys picked up on what the slide said, but what you were accruing, the 1%, the 1.2%, the 1.8%, all of that, what you were accruing is unreleased tokens, unblocked tokens. Just let that simmer for a second. If you really understand the power of that, you can unblock your tokens, put them away, and get a return on them before the end of the year, and then sell them when they're at $1, $2. Although, as Dragos said, why would you? Why would you cut the head off the golden goose? Now, I firmly believe we are at a juncture right now that we're just beginning to pass through yet another important milestone. Things are starting to get incredibly exciting, but at the same time, when things get exciting, they start to get a little bit, yeah, are we moving the right direction? And guys, I just want to assure you, I want to give you that assurance. We are moving in the right direction. We are making the right steps for our longevity, for our sustainability, to ensure that our children's children will be able to carry on this business. This business isn't some 5-year business plan, 10-year business plan. No, this is a 200-year business plan. This will be spoken about long into generations to come. 300-400 years, people are going to go, man, remember that Lynn Hoffman? She was involved with that company. That's why I live the life I live today. Man, imagine that. Imagine your ancestors talking like that about you. And guys, so I'm not gonna delay anymore. I'm just gonna get into this. I'm just so excited. I really, really am. So the internal exchange, guys, here it is. Oh, apparently I deleted some notes there, but that's okay. From the 9th of March. Yes, I said the 9th of March. From the 9th of March, the internal exchange will be open. I'll just let that sit for a second as well, because I know there's a few of you that have just fell off your chair. Or you just fell over because you're so excited. That's me. I knew this news the other day when we did the Q&A that Harren and I did, and I couldn't say anything, but I was like, oh, I just want to say it. Here it is, guys. The 9th of March, our exchange opens. Now, an application can be submitted. Now, it's not a written application. I asked this question just to get clarity for myself. Dennis, I hope I'm speaking slow enough for you, mate. It hurt falling off my chair. I love that.
No, you're not, Andrew. Please go slowly. I'm serious. Yeah, thank you.
No, okay. I'm trying to go slow, man. I'm just so excited. So an application, guys, can be submitted and accepted by a verified account. So your account must be verified to be able to use the internal exchange. Okay, must be verified. Simple for the application. It's all in the exchange itself. Now, we're going to put some videos together for you so you can see exactly how that works, so you'll know what has to go where and what you have to go through. But of course, you have to make sure that you have the sufficient amount. If you want to purchase CRU through the exchange, then you'll have to make sure that you have the sufficient amount of money inside of your wallet. Okay. And of course, vice versa. You've got to, if you're releasing tokens, if you're trying to sell them, then you need to ensure that you've got a sufficient amount of tokens in there that can be purchased. It kind of makes sense. So let's have a look, guys. This is your first glimpse into what the internal exchange will look like. You'll have a number of pages. Now, in this example, you can see that the price offer is roughly around 14 cents or 0.14 unit, which is about 14 cents. Okay. Obviously we're using US dollars at the moment, so that's about what it works out at. Now, guys, here's an important thing to remember. There is going to be a spread on the price. So what does that mean? When you exchange, there'll be a range between X and Y, whatever that range is, and it'll be a percentage. Now, this percentage will change each and every month, okay? Now, that spread will be announced on these summary webinars, or on the summary webinars each and every month. This isn't the summary, this is a special one, obviously. But the spread will change each month, and it will be, okay, just looking at what's coming up on this other screen here. It will be announced on those webinars. So you want to make sure that you're on those webinars so you can get the most from it, okay? Now, what the spread means, let's use a percentage, for example, 40%. Say the spread is 40%. Then it might range from, say, 14 cents up to, what's that? Up to, that'd be 60, up to 19 cents, 19.5 cents. That might be what the spread works out at. So that means that once those packages are available, up to $500, as Dragos already told us, then we can choose what price range in there that we're willing to sell at. Or vice versa, if you're looking to buy, what you're prepared to buy at. So hopefully that makes sense. Give me a plus if that makes sense to everybody in the chat, please. Cool, awesome, awesome. Great, cool. I'll move on to the next one then. I've explained it. There's one minus there. Okay, so I missed the who it was, but if you could just put into the chat exactly what you didn't understand, I'll try and clear it up. Two there that don't understand, great. So if you could put in there what you didn't understand, that would be helpful to me. A spread is on top of the price. It's so cool. Right. If we look at the base price of what we're selling through our EIPs and what the best or what the discount is, then the spread would be from that price to a slightly higher price. And it might be in the first round up to 40%. So I'll use 10 cents as an example because it's a nice round figure. Say the token, our CRU was 10 cents and we put a 40% spread on it. That would mean that from 10 cents to 14 cents would be the price range in which you could buy and sell. Hopefully that makes a little bit better, makes more sense. Not in the EIP. EIP stands for Education Information Product, okay? But that means that's what it means for the exchange, the spread of what you could purchase it at through an EIP and what you can purchase it up to through the exchange. So that will make more sense because there's only a few of you that didn't quite pick it up. That's okay. We'll do that in a video and it will make much more sense. Cool. So this is another part here in the exchange. This is where you can see you can see their table below is the applications for exchange in the CRU. So that's what is in the exchange. So you might look at there and go, oh, I like that one there that's at the top. I'm going to exchange that. Click on that, and then you can start to go through that process. But again, more information will come out on this. It'll be clear in videos and things like this. But guys, all offers of the users available for the exchange. Now that's at the moment, it's open for everyone. My requests, your exchange requests created by you, my exchanges, the history of your exchanges, which kind of makes sense. So that's all the offers. That's what you can see right there, all offers. And then this next slide here, this actually tells you about your exchanges. So this one is almost self-explanatory too, but let's go through it. In the first window that you see there, it says exchange, and you can see 1,000 units. So obviously you put that over there for the amount of, and you can see the spread there, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see for an amount of between 5,994 or 7,326. Now, obviously, if you are looking for the full amount of 7,326, that means you're going to get the bigger discount on that particular exchange. However, if somebody did the same trade and said, look, I'm happy to do it for 6,000, then anyone looking for those exchanges are likely to take the one that they're going to get the more money for. Does that make sense? So you want to try and find the happy medium. Now, some of them are going to go, some of them might start at that 7,326 because they need to get the ball rolling. But once that starts to happen, you'll see that that margin will tighten up a little bit and people will be looking to get the best they can for their tokens, which is obviously smart, but it depends on what strategy you're starting or that you're going to employ. And there are a few strategies, and those of you who have gone through Master Profi should be and of course, who are on the marathon right now, should be starting to think as to how you want to play this out. If you're going to get 1% of your tokens released, maybe you stake 50% of that 1%. So say you've got 100,000 tokens, maybe you stake 50,000 of those, and then you use 50,000 to trade. Now, I'm not telling you what you should do. That's certainly not what I'm going to do. I'm just saying these are scenarios that you all need to think about as to how you want to roll this out, because it will be different for everyone. But now is where you start to put in all of the training that you've done over the last few years. So that's what it looks like, guys. Now, there is a 25-cent fee or 25.25 unit fee on every transaction. So you'll notice there, it says 1,000, and then in the main wallet, you needed to have 1,025 cents, okay? Of course, you do have to put a deadline in there. So you have to put a date in there, application deadline. That essentially means that's when the offer's good till, or when it's live. It's up to you there. You can see there, guys, entering the amount of units for the exchange in the system will offer you a range of CRU points that we just went through in that last slide. Cool. So where are we? Here's another one. Also, you can also choose a recipient. So you can do a public offer to anyone, or you can go specifically, if you've made arrangements with people, you're like, well, okay, obviously we can only work within the spread that's available in the exchange, which is good. That means no one's able to take advantage of anyone. That's key, guys. That's awesome. It's built in for our protection. But you can literally go to individuals if you've got an agreement with someone to say, hey, look, this is what we set up. I said that I'd purchase from you. You said you'd sell to me. Great. We can go directly to each other through the exchange. You can actually pick the specific person, or you can just put it out to public offer. So people in the public exchange will see it and they'll go, I want that one, and they'll execute the order. Okay. So you can see here, guys, this is now your requests. So that last one we just did, if we go back for a second, you can see we did $1,000 exchange for however many CRU, and you'll see in this one here, they put 7,000. So if you look at the spread, it's just a little over halfway between the spread, okay? And again, guys, this margin spread is going to be announced every summary webinar at the end of every month. So if you want to plan your strategy for the month forward, you need to make sure you're on that webinar. And while I'm on the subject of webinars, guys, there is almost 2,500 of us on here tonight. So congratulations to you all. That's between the Italian, the Russian, and the English rooms. So well done, guys, well done. Obviously some important stuff going down. So you can see right there, your requests. This is a table below for your requests. And in this scenario, 7,000 crypto units, which is average out around 14 cents, as we said. So it's anywhere in between that. So guys, some things to consider while you're at the exchange. Now, I want to tell you this right now, okay? During the first month, the exchange is open for everyone. And this is so everybody can actually see how it works. They can get an understanding of like, oh, yep, that's a game I want to play in. That's where I want to be. I want to be able to use that service. Okay, so it's open for everyone for the first month. Now, that goes twofold. It's not just so that you can get in there, although that is important. It's also so that we can, so if there's any tech issues, right? If there's any little bugs, we can get them sorted before we really go hammer and tongs with it. Because obviously, as more and more tokens become released, the strain on that will get heavier and heavier. So we need to make sure that we've got it right. So during this little phase, we'll be testing a few things and putting things in place and making sure that it works the way that it needs to. So everyone is welcome to participate in it at this stage. Now think of it as a settling period. Now, the big thing to remember, this is something that has come up. People have asked this question specifically. Will my funds be safe? Will my CRU be safe when this exchange opens? And yes, 100% they will be safe. Everything is all above board. You're only going to be able to access that if you've got released tokens anyway. And you saw when they're going to be released. So those of you who purchased EIPs that had CRU on the 30th of March, you'll actually be able to enter this exchange on the 9th when it opens. So congratulations to you all. congratulations to you all, guys. Honestly, I see some exciting times happening. So, guys, account verification is a prerequisite. Now, we've already been through that. You must have your account verified. So if you haven't yet done that, get onto it, okay? If you're not sure on how to do it, there is videos on YouTube and in the back office, and also in most of the groups in the files section, there are instructions on how to do that. But if you're still having trouble, get in touch with your most active upline and sit with them and get through exactly how that works. No, you did right, Diane. This is for if you want to sell. The exchange is absolutely for you want to sell. Now, with the staking, Daiwas gave you a perfect example of it. It's kind of like term deposit, kind of. So coming back to the staking for a second, that's not available just yet. We're just working out just a couple of the things, but it is coming and it is exciting. So it will be available very, very soon after the exchange opens. But anyone that I'm just reading some of the comments in here. So anyone that has unblocked tokens will be able to. Now I'm going to read through these, guys. You can't see your applications on the bulletin board, okay? They're available in the My Requests. That's where you will see what you've done. You can create both a public application, as I said before, and a private application to a specific user, and only unblocked CRU points can be used or participate in the exchange. Now, I want to cover this one because it actually speaks to something somebody said in the chat here. Now, at this stage, the exchange is available to all participants of the crypto unit program, but in the future, it will only be for the VIP club. Now, guys, there's a really, really, really important reason for this. And it's so simple, you'll go, well, why didn't we think of that? Our industry is, ours in particular too, right? We're kind of in a niche of an industry. Our industry is heavily, I won't say regulated, that's not quite the word I'm looking for, but we're looked upon with very fastidious eyes. People look at us very closely and they're waiting for us just to put a foot wrong. And we just need to say something wrong or say something in the incorrect language pattern, and all of a sudden we are in trouble. By the introduction of a VIP club where people pay a membership, we actually don't have that issue. And that's one of the really important parts. Now, guys, within this internal exchange, if we have a VIP club or a club that people are paying membership to each month, it makes it easy. It makes it legal. It makes, not that everything is legal anyway, but this just puts it in a nice, tidy box to make sure that everybody is compliant. So, guys, realistically, the club starts from $10. We're going to go on and have a look at that anyway, but I'm really excited about that side. The staking, guys, was it only got floated after the VIP club got floated too. So, guys, absolutely, Ara, absolutely. And guys, it's been incredibly well thought out. And it was the legal team that originally suggested it, and it's been refined. It's like, okay, well, how can this work with that? How can we do that? Much, much better. So let's have a look at that, guys. This is a club for committed partners. Now, for committed partners, for our loyal partners, our company wants to make sure that it really, really looks after them. So yeah, there's going to be perks for people that are in the VIP club. I mean, why wouldn't you want them? If they're going to start from as little as 10 units, we're going to make more than that through the exchange, more than likely. Like, just think about that for a second. If you've got access to the exchange, you can cover your membership fee every month, more than likely. And if you've got access to that, then you're also building that residual income as well. Come on, guys, we need to think outside the box. We've got to stop thinking like we're employees. We've got to start thinking like we're business owners, because that's what we are. And that gives us so much freedom. When we're a business owner, we get to do things on such a different level. So guys, the additional bonuses and discounts on many, many company products. So like some of the courses that you get access to now, you're going to get access at a discount if you're a VIP club member, because we want to look after the people who are loyal to our company, the people that are staying here, right? The people that are working for our best interests collectively. There's no individuals on a team, right? We can't afford that. We want to go out. We want to make sure that we all prosper together. And this is one of the ways that we can do that. So additional loyalty program bonuses. Imagine getting access to more loyalty each and every month. More money in your pocket. Residual income each and every month. That's what this VIP club's going to do. An opportunity to participate in the CRU reporting meetings. Guys, if you want to go to those closed meetings to see what's going on with the fund, then you need to be a VIP. And I, for one, I think that is one of the best ideas that I've heard, because unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are not emotionally invested in what we're doing, that can't get the bigger picture. They don't understand that. And until they are emotionally and financially invested in what we're doing, they don't understand it. So there's an old saying, if you haven't got the skin in the game, then it doesn't quite work for you. So guys, this is one of the biggest opportunities it is so far this year, the biggest opportunity we've had for our business. And it's just such an amazing, amazing opportunity for us all. The ability to participate in the exchange. And we've gone through that, guys. And I welcome that for compliance reasons alone. I welcome that. But I think it's for all in all, it's going to be very, very good. And guys, club fees start from $10. So for somebody to go, well, if you're just getting them started, this is actually, the fee, Tony, is from $10. So if you're a partner, if you're just getting started, $10. If you're a president, a little bit higher. So this is one of those good scenarios where the people that are actually up in the upper ranks, if you like, they're helping subsidize the people to get started. And I applaud that too. I think that's really great. It means that we're helping out the little people to get that step ahead. We're giving them a hand up rather than a hand out. And guys, that's the only way we can move forward as a society, is to give everyone a hand up. You know, there's a sign on Yellowstone Park, don't feed the bears, because they become dependent on humans to be able to survive because they're used to people giving them food. We're no different. And we've got to look at it like that. So this is giving people a hand up rather than a hand out. So guys, that's it for the VIP, but guys, here it is. We're almost a year. The CRU anniversary is coming up on the 30th of March. 1 year since this amazing program launched. And guys, thanks to you, thanks to each and every one of you listening to this webinar, we've raised, well, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. We were averaging over $20 million at one stage a month. That's a testament to you, to your belief in what we had, what we have, what we continue to grow. That's enabled us to grow an amazing portfolio that really started 6 years ago at $26,000. And as you saw last week on the summary webinars, now 379 million. Come on, guys. I was talking with one of my FX trader friends today. We were talking about something and how we can get this to work together. And I told him what our fund had done, and he just about fell off his chair. Now, this is an incredibly experienced trader. He's set up his own funds. He's set up brokerage firms. He's done everything. This is a guy who borrowed $60,000 from his father's friends. He got in trouble for it when he was 18 years old and turned it into $1 million trading. He's got pedigree. He knows what he's talking about. And when I told him what we've done, what Andre has done with our portfolio, he just about fell off his chair. So we are in the right place, ladies and gentlemen. And that's all off the back of what we've been able to do, what you've been able to do through this CRU program. So guys, we're coming up 1 year old. Let's have a party. Let's have a party everywhere in the world on the 30th of March, and let's live stream that baby 24 hours. Because if you think about it, we can start in New Zealand. We can do it in Australia. We can do it in Singapore. We can do it in Malaysia. We can do it in India. We can keep this party going for 24 hours. Now, if you guys are up for a 24-hour party, give me a plus in the chat. A lot of pluses coming through in English. A lot of pluses, a couple of minuses in Russia. Okay, you guys aren't up for a party, that's okay. Everyone in the English chat is. Awesome, guys, awesome. So let's have a look. here's some more exciting news. This is a lot of people have been asking questions about this as well. Results of the blockchain solutions development tender. So the tender did go out. There was 6 international companies that vied for that, and it was shortlisted to 3 teams. And they will be going through that incredibly soon. I think it's this week sometime, if not this week, next. And that news will be obviously released, and there'll be some pretty good surprises with that. Obviously, going back to the party, there's going to be surprises there too. So, you know, I kind of missed that point because I was excited about the party. But there's all sorts of good things coming out, guys. Obviously, that blockchain development is just a small part of it. Now, obviously, in the news in the last week, there's been a lot of stuff going on. Okay, we all know that. If you want to convert your pre-IPO private equity shares in Skyway into the Eurasian Rail Skyway Systems Holding Limited 3 register, you can do so, but you must do it by the 10th of March. Guys, if your account is not verified, you must have your account verified first. So verify your account and then do the exchange. You can download the application inside your back office. It's there for everyone. If you go to your portfolio, if your shares haven't been, or your, pipes, if they haven't been converted, there'll be a button there that says download application. If they have been converted, there'll be a button there that says extract shares from register, essentially, your Asian Rail Skyway Systems Holding Limited register. And that will email them to you so you have a hard copy. I just happen to have one here. They look like that, okay? The nice fancy certificates, they're beautiful, they're great. They're $10, but this is an official piece of paper. So that's actually as good as the certificates if you don't want to spend that money. Get one to put on your wall, absolutely, but that register is what you need. So fill in the form, guys. Indicate all of the data that's needed, your login, the email address, attach the scanned copy of your filled application and the conversion for your pre-IPO private equity shares. Conversion verification is compulsory. Guys, anything purchased after the 10th will not be converted with the exceptions of installments issued earlier. Okay, I'll say that again. Purchases after the 10th of the 3rd will not be converted with the exception of the installments issued earlier. So you need to have started those installments, or the installments that were issued prior to that. Verification is compulsory to be able to convert. So guys, that's really, really important too. The form can be found in the news section also in your back office. Okay, so that's that side. Just know that if your pipes aren't converted, I heard Andre, and I'm pretty sure Andre is going to be coming in and talking with us soon, but I did hear him last week say that the company would recompense you for that, that he'd buy them back and they'd go into the pool. So, you know, we may hear more about that a little bit later on. Andre has his ideas on that, which is awesome, but just know that you'll all be looked after, and that's the bigger picture. So topping up your wallet, guys, your wallet, I'm trying to get my V's in there. We are now going to be doing most things through the Academy of Private Investor portal. And right now...
Andrew, I'm sorry. Some of our speakers would like you to explain the whole conversion thing again, if you don't mind.
This one?
The conversion, I guess, the terms and how it all can be carried out. I mean, some of our partners did not really understand it.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out a different way to explain it then. Conversion. If your pipes aren't converted in the back office, and it will show, so you go to your portfolio section, and then you can click on certificates and you can see what has been converted and what has not. In fact, if you download your register, if you get that email to you, it will tell you what's in your name, but what's not converted also. Now, when you go to that portfolio section, there'll be a button. Andrew 12tree did a really good video on this that's available on YouTube. There'll be a button that either says email extract from Eurasian Rail Skyway Systems Holding Limited 3, and that will go to the email address that you have inside of your profile, and you'll be able to see what is converted and what's not. If there is something that's not converted, that button will say download application for conversion. So as it says on there, download the application, fill it in, sign it, and then scan it. Once it's scanned onto your email, onto your computer, wherever you're scanning it to, fill in the form that's available there, indicate your data, your login, your email address, and attach the scanned copy with the application, filled in with the application to apply for the conversion of those pre-IPO equity shares. Now, yep, Sam, I did actually go cover that. I'll cover it again though. So this is purchases in TNG personal account after the 10th of March. So after Tuesday, anything purchased after Tuesday will not be converted with the installments, with the exception of installments issued earlier. Okay. So if the installment had been issued earlier, then that would be converted. However, anything purchased after the 10th, it won't be. So basically, don't buy any more inside of TNG right now. Those of you who have unconverted and are unsure as to what will happen there, you have the chance to convert them or at least apply to have them converted by the 10th of March. Okay. If you're unable to do that, then Andre said last week that he would actually purchase them back off everyone. So I'm not sure what the rate will be for that. I'm not sure if there'll be any other incentive in that. However, you will be looked after. What does not converted will end up inside of the global portfolio. So we'll end up with it anyway. So you already got it. If you're inside just CRU, then great. You don't need to worry about pipes at all. If you do have pipes, then you want to make sure they're converted. Again, your account must be verified and you must go through that process if they haven't been converted. So just check, because I did have someone a little earlier send something through and they're from June, it hadn't been converted. And I think it could go back as far as March. So just check that they have been converted. That's the process that you need to go through to have them converted, to apply to have them converted. Or you can bring that up with support to say, no, you know what, I'd rather have Compens or if whatever Andre's deal is, and put them into the global portfolio. So that's up for you to decide, but that's the process, guys, and it must be done by the 10th of March. Cool. So I'm just having a quick look at these questions before I move on to make sure I've covered it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to cover this.
Andrew, yeah. Our Italian guys are asking to what address the filled-in application form should be sent. Where is that address where they can find it?
I believe it is on when you click that button or in the back office, all of the information is there for them. That's what it says fill in the form. So there must be a form that's circulating as well. It could be a Google form circulating. Indicate your data, your login, your email address, and attach the signed copy. So there will be a Google form that is circulating. And that is probably available in that news article in your back office. So go and check. There would be my first port of call, and then check the chat groups. Now, I just wanted to, Boshra, guys, ask about the conditions of the VIP club first, and what is the VIP club plan for the future? We don't want any surprises in the future. Here's where I say we're in a business and we evolve. Sometimes and guys, the decision that was made about the VIP club wasn't made lightly. It was made, there was a lot of thought put into it. And it was put in for the longevity and betterment of our business. If we want to see our business here in 5, 10, 15, 30, 50, 100 years, then we continually are going to evolve. There will be things that come up that change, and we pivot and we adapt. Now, I said something the other day, there's always going to be doubters. You know what? You've got to adjust for wind and take the shot anyway. We'll always miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So sometimes things come up, an obstacle comes up in front of us when we're doing business, and we have to move around it or move or pivot or adjust to make sure that we can still finish the race. And at the end of the day, that's what's important, that everyone here gets to finish the race and they all get to prosper from it. So sometimes the company's going to make decisions that not everyone won't necessarily agree with to start with, but they only ever make the decisions to ensure the longevity and sustainability of our company. So guys, make no mistake, the decision was made with a lot of deliberation and a lot of thought put into it to make sure that it was going to be the best possible outcome for everyone. And guys, there's always going to be surprises in the future. And that's just part of being in business. Cool. So can I move on now, Dennis, to the top up your wallet?
There are no questions so far.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Oh, no, I went the wrong way. So this way, topping up your wallet, guys. Now you'll see a lot more coming up for the Academy of Private Investor. Okay. And we're going to be using this portal primarily. People will not have direct access to CRU. They will not have direct access to TNG, whatever project is in that tab at the time. Okay. They'll have to come through the Academy of Private Investor. Now this is, again, for compliance reasons, to make sure that we all fit in that nice little box so that we can explain ourselves much, much easier. But there's an advantage to it right now as well, and that is that you get a big discount for topping up through there. So it's the most affordable and fastest way to save yourself money and topping up, saving from 2.5% to 4% in fees when you're topping up with a bank card. So top up your API personal account. There's only 1% in fees, and you can transfer it instantly between there, your CRU or your TNG, wherever you need it. But that's the cheapest way right now to be able to get money into your wallets. So hopefully that works, guys. Oh, awesome. Julie has posted, Julie O'Callaghan, guys, in the chat in the English room has posted the news about the transfers. Okay, so that will all be in there. Cool. So guys, we invite you, obviously, next Saturday night, there is another important meeting. It is the Crypto Unit Program news. It is at 12 p.m. Moscow time. I'm not going to do all the time zones. You guys need to, we work in international business. You need to know, and I'll give you an app for your phone. It's called Time Buddy. It's what I use. You can put in multiple time zones, and it's got a little line that goes across. All you need to do is line it up with 12 p.m. Moscow time, and it will tell you what you're in your time zone, what that is. Now, I have to thank Mila Sergikova for that beautiful app. She showed it to me nigh on 2.5 years ago, and it has seen me very well ever since. So at that meeting, you will hear firsthand from Andre the results of the blockchain tender. You'll see what's going on there. We'll sum up this first week of the exchange being open. You'll hear the crypto program news, and of course the range for the internal exchange. So you'll hear all about that, and of course you'll be able to get all of your questions answered as well. So guys, let me know. Give me a 10 if you're excited. 10,000. I like that too. Man, I can't keep up with the chat that's going through here now. It's ridiculous. That's awesome, guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we are going to open this up for a Q&A right now, but I do believe that our CEO is on standby also to be here to come out, and he also would like to have a brief word with everyone. And I can tell you right now, there is exciting things to hear from this gentleman. But if you do have any questions, I will start to take them now. If I can get back to if I can ever find my mouse and get back to my Q&A, I'll actually open the questions. Oops. Plate. Come back to the right place. Now I found my mouse. That's where I want it. Cool.
Hello, dear friends. How well can you hear and see me? Andrew, thank you very much for this very brief overview in 1 hour instead of 2. Actually, we managed to do it. Therefore, everything is great. Actually, I didn't plan to speak, but today's news is very exciting about unlocking. And I think that there is no one, me as the author of the Academy of Private Investor, will be able, so the author of the theory of NEEW and NEEW program, crypto unit program, I believe that me is the best person to answer all your questions, and it will be nice for our speakers, because once I received a question, Andrei, Aren't you afraid that you are preparing your competitors in the academy? What do you mean? Well, you train people. One day they will become better than you are and they will attract clients. I smiled and said one thing. Well, you know, there is such a thing as experience. At that time, I had 17 years experience when I studied academy in 2011. At that time, it was 15 years experience, but this question was received 2 years after. So we discussed finances, investments, and this is a very conscious experience and almost 30 years unconscious experience, because from my age of 15 I've been investing, and all these investments, my investments or my directions or segments, they were this or that way related to investments. I was not actually afraid to buy some public bonds by using the money I received as a gift from my relatives for my birthday. And at summertime I also worked, and I bought the tape recorder. I actually recorded some cassettes and sold these cassettes and bought this money, got this money, and I invested into these bonds. And you know, one rule of a private investor, which I learned in 1997 at the training of my first insurance company, and I took that training on capitalization. So there was a home task to calculate capitalization for 10, 20 years. Actually, my horizons broadened because I realized immediately what investments are. And then actually I answered 17 years experience, but it's quite unlikely that someone knows those things I know. I am sometimes viewed as quite arrogant, self-insured, but I believe that on the planet there is no other person who knows what I know. If any of my students would catch up with me, he will need another 17 years and the same actions to be taken, because not only time matters, but those actions, those activities you do when you apply your knowledge, your skills in practice. Firstly, we study the theory, get knowledge, and then realization of this knowledge, application, and generating the intuition and understanding the process. And Andrew actually today said an interesting thing, that we are constructing foundation for the next 200, 300 years. But guys, I think even more than this. On the 2nd of February 2020, if you remember, there was a webinar, and then I told you that today we are constructing a very solid foundation for the future generations for 1,000 years with our actions, with our thoughts, and with our perception of how it should be done. Therefore, what we are doing, actually 2 years ago, Armand Murnieks phoned me and told me that, Andrei, I simply realized that you are our Santa Claus. And then I asked why. But he said actually that I'm better than Santa Claus. But actually he told me why he thought this way. But actually, to some extent, he was right. Yes, I am the author, I am the inspirer of the Academy, of the Crypto Unit program, of the NEEW program. Therefore, I believe I'm the right person to answer all your questions. In case I don't see your questions in the chat, please, from other language chats, we will ask our translators to translate these questions. It would be nice to make a table Do I understand it correctly that we have questions in the chat or in a different place? Answering the question about inviting the people from outside. Using the same systems, the multi-level crowd investing system, Andrew told you there was the blockchain tender. And a few days ago, actually, we shortlisted the companies, actually all the companies. Instead of 3 hours tender, we had 6-hour tender, but all the potential bidders, they wanted actually to refuse themselves. But then they actually decided to give us an opportunity to cooperate with them. But look, all of these companies have something, but none of them match our needs fully. And therefore, in partly, we will advise and we will engage some of them. So they could be either an advisor or an advisor or the developer. But a few days after, actually, there was a PR tender. And out of 35 companies, 29, we had some discussions, but only 3 companies participated in the tender. And again, we selected the PR companies, and because of our growth rate we see today, we see a lot of registrations with these PR campaigns. We will cooperate and they will work for us. And I liked a lot one UK guy. He operates in UK and Dubai. He said that we can develop a brand for us. So we have the Academy of Private Investor, the Genius of Finance, and new program, Crypto Unit program. We need to link it into one. And there are professional brand developers who can help us. And through these PR companies with whom we will conclude a contract, we will update you on this as well. I believe next Saturday, I won't actually deliver the webinar, but Maria Antonenko, she will tell you about the companies participating in the tender and why we selected and which companies are selected. So, but anyway, I can tell you that with any of the companies, we will cooperate in part. And by the way, it is included into our strategy. My desktop, I will go to my back office, Crypto Unit program. And it is written down that we are not moving away from what is written here. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, there are webinars. Look, the first step, 6-12 months, the preliminary launch of the project. Phase 2, from the 1st of December 2019 to the 1st of October 2020, with the getting and the compliance of all the international standards. So we planned to do the security, the ICO, but first of all, we will do our blockchain, and based on which, based on this coin, we will have our ICO. And now we have actually the professional lawyers. On the 31st of March, there will be a summary webinar and you will meet them. At this stage, stage of phase 2, when we started, there was a slide that through the multi-level crowd investing domain, we will attract people, and then crypto unit and crypto community. And now we are pleased that the PR companies selected had experience in launching 3 projects related to crypto markets, and one of them was on MLM. And when we discussed it with them, the internet marketing, I call it this way. So the terms may be different. Internet marketing, what it is. On the internet, we can attract a category of people to us. And the slide I showed you when we only launched phase 2, there, the second part of phase 2 is 1 to 10. There will be 10 parts in phase 2. And we actually approach the idea that through MLCI and crypto market, crypto community and crypto ideas, we will attract. And phase 3, starting from the 1st of October 2019 to the 1st of 10th 2024, this is the global merchandising, which will enroll including both banking sector, international financial sector. And we are doing everything for this purpose. In 2019, we failed to do it. So actually the idea is to create investment holding brokerage companies, our investment bank. And this year we will do a simplified thing, which is called e-banking, and at least to have it in Europe. Last year, actually, the vendors failed to develop this for us. Therefore, we are following what I told you at all my webinars at the beginning, in the middle, summing up the results of the 2019 and MLCI, one tool, and another one. At the closed meeting, I told this, one of the large investors actually asked me not to talk about VIP club, but to share the report about the large investors. I want you to understand what I mean under the large investment, not the one who immediately invested 10,000 or 100,000 a month, but a large investment is a person that each month builds his or her network, and this network every month actually generates quite decent profits. So a large investor could start from being a small client, then transforming into a small investor. Then he gets some training and education, and he becomes the leader. So the junior leader, then top leader, and then he generates millions of volumes a month or a year. And they are the large investor for me. But large investors, so actually he talked about, I apologized, maybe I offended him, but in any case, a large investor for me is this person, because a large investor who invested as a lump sum of 100,000, but for instance, we promoted 5 years the global transport technologies. One investor, large investor, actually came that in 8 months invested $800,000 by investing 100,000 each month. But he was doing some network business as well. He was in one large, well-known US company, network company. And therefore, we will attract our people, our community outside this VIP club through these methods. And as Dragosh said this, that now we are helping you to make sure that people who would like to buy, they would buy from you. EIPs, standard EIPs, which will be on offer until the 1st of April this year, this back office, crypto unit back office will operate separately, but then the entry point only will be available through the back office of the Academy of Private Investor. And to do some actions there, a person goes and would like to buy EIP of 50, 100, 200, 250, 500. He will click and he will see the information that this function is not available, but on the offering board, he would like to actually post his advertisement. And please note that it's not selling, and the translators, please do not translate the word sales. It is called internal exchange of points into CRU tokens. Internal exchange of points into CRU, CRU. So I prohibit you to use the word sell, because you as an individual, you can't sell, because when you sell, you need to pay a tax. But to exchange, to say something into something, particularly there are a lot of different loyalty program systems in the world, and the loyalty program, for instance, you fly some airplanes or you in some cashback systems, there is internal exchange when you can use this service and exchange the points earned into what you have inside this system. Inside our system, we have units. This is the units reflected in the back office, and we have points, CRU points. And until we do blockchain, Maria actually promises that will speak in front of you, and she will tell you that in 3-6 months there will be blockchain, and with one requirement, to have nodes for our people to be able to mine proof of work. It is this word, but proof of stake, the word is different. This is a prototype for mining, for people to participate in this intervention. This is an additional flow of income for people we would like to create. And in this regard, dear friends, for you to understand, it's not selling. Please strike it out. Don't use the word selling. This is internal exchange of points into CRU tokens, and there you will see in this board you can place the offer for the exchange into units, but your offer won't be visible. We did an interesting thing actually, whereby you will see only offers on the markets, like there is a function on the market. So the offer, I will buy, and you as the partners of our system, of our company holding, you will see that you will show it to the people that everyone is willing to buy. So in 2011, I was in Ukraine, and there was Herbalife. I met the top leader of that company. I recruited him to our company, and we talked more or less. At that time, I was a new leader, like our leader manager, but he was like our president. I recruited him, and then I invited him to the office. We talked, we communicated, so we are more or less friends. And he liked that I am so active, so proactive, so stubborn, and recruit him to the business. So he liked this a lot. But you know, your approach surprised me a lot, because generally I say no. But you know, I learned some tricks from them. And why should I use it here and improve them even? And with my organization, a town is quite small, about 1.5 million people, we covered them all, and they started to become active as well. The reason I'm telling this, by learning from such leaders as they are, they start to use some marketing things for yourselves. And I met him again and he says, you says this and that about Herbalife, but please look, let's open any newspaper and there is an ad. I will buy Herbalife. But who buys Herbalife? I buy Herbalife and other leaders buy Herbalife. And actually this way they promote this Herbalife, and some marketing tricks are quite good. Some marketing tips, they're quite good. And one tender, our tender was participated by one guy with some unusual way of thinking. And I liked him a lot, and quite probably we will work with him as well, particularly when we grow, when there are some negative articles. When a crypto enthusiasm, young enthusiasm from Japan actually made 2 negative articles comparing us with some fake things, but there are those people who are called killers of such articles. So actually they put them down to the 20s, 30s or 100 RAW. He says that we can in a day detect this and whitewash you with positive articles. It is called killing the negative article. So these are PR tips or tricks that could be used. And then 2 functions, as Dragoš said, 2 opportunities you have. When I recruit a person to a business as a partner of multi-level crowd investing, a person would like to join, and I tell him, look, there are 2 opportunities on the market, or agree it with me, we can agree the price. Andrew actually showed this, that there is the margin, the so-called spread. Margin will be plus minus. To say minus 40% or minus 30% plus 5%. The margin will be well known. It will be known next Saturday. So margin for next week will be minus 30% and plus 5% for you to understand. And by using this margin, you can actually bargain, negotiate with the person. And if he makes a purchase of 500 units, then he will say, I can get 7.7 cents. Yes, you can get it, but unlocking will be available 350 days after. But here, minus 30%. So the standard price is 15 cents. I want to show you this table as well. Can you see it? Here it goes. They are the months planned and the phases, stages in English. Now it is available in English. 10 stages in 12 months. And the price is 15 cents. It is set. And there is clear understanding. I showed this last webinar, the calculation of units, why we need to transfer, to shift to the specific prices. And what actually dictates these prices? The number of users. Now today we have 1,280,000 or even more, but unless SheCard is launched. So another important factor is volumes and the number of CRU, and it should be 30% or at least more. Then we shift, but when we are 2 million, then we will immediately shift to stage 3, because subject to 2 million registrations, there will be this volume surely, and this amount plus this amount. And here we have this table. Actually, I showed it last webinar, the money invested and why we are shifting. So the table, you can take a screenshot of it. So this, take a screenshot of this table. This is the price which will be shaped, which will be formed. And actually it depends on us how fast we will be able to do it. And the uniqueness of our business is that we cover 2 A-lead businesses. The first A-lead domain is multi-level business. Why I call it A-lead business? I will share my understanding why I believe that multi-level business is an elite business, because some people may view real estate or investment business as elite. Yes, it is, but multi-level business is an elite business because of one reason. Out of all the occupations, there are three top prestigious occupations or jobs. Can you name them? The three most prestigious jobs or occupations globally. Andrei would like to get your feedback in the chat. And each Saturday at the webinars, you will get it. So when VIP club is launched, only members of this club will know the spread or margin. Lilia, so lawyers, doctors, investors. Unfortunately, networkers, they are not included into the list of the top prestigious procedures. So the top three is doctors, lawyers, and teachers. So these are the most prestigious professions or occupations globally. If you are a son or a great son of a lawyer, then you're fine in this life. That this is the elite business, elite occupation, very prestigious. And the lawyers or the defense counsels, they become governors, mayors, and presidents in many countries. But why lawyers? Why defense counsels? So the second one is doctor and teachers. The best lawyer or defense attorney earns maximum $350,000 a month. This is the defense attorney working somewhere. So lawyers and defense attorneys, they make $350,000 a month, up to $500,000. So the top 10 doctors, global doctors employed, they are mostly surgeons, because physicians don't earn, but actually surgeons could earn up to 300,000. And the next one is teachers. So the best teachers in the world, they earn from 150 to 250,000 US dollars. But the best networkers, the top 10 networkers, their checks vary from 1 million to 3 million a month. And therefore, I call this business an elite business. You don't need special education, some sophisticated stuff. So this is the easiest business based on communication. Two things a person knows. So dreams and readiness to act and to be trained. And the second elite business, the business of multi-level marketing, created a school of millionaires, an army of millionaires, those people with no connections, with no opportunity to get tuition from Harvard, Oxford, Columbian University. So they don't have this. But as soon as they joined the multi-level business, they become tops, they become masters of their destinies. They understand and know many things few persons actually think. And therefore, education in this triangle of success, education is the most important. And the second area and elite business is investment business. Over the 30 years, it shows that when you are in the investment business, then maximum in 3 years, you can become a millionaire if you work correctly, if you are a broker or a trader, a broker with the licenses. So brokers or brokerage companies, you can actually, a person as a broker can get a license, but we combine these two businesses and our share of the market. And when today I talk to many people that are newbies, I tell them about trillions market. This is 12 zeros. Our goal is at least from 2.5 to 10 trillion US dollars in another 4-8 years. until 2030 to attract this amount of money. This is the 15% of the economic or the budget of the top 10 leading companies, leading economies in the world. Well, 1 trillion, many people say no, it's very ambitious. So now my benchmark or my reference point is 1 billion. But dear friends, I want to tell you, we actually captured 2 elite markets, and we are a lead company on this market. And I can assure you that we are the prototype of MVA. But MVA was in multi-level business with a lot of leaders. Then they joined some other companies and created other companies, Herbalife, another legend, because today, if you take a school of multi-level business, the key schools are MVA and Herbalife, and then there were some modernizations, but we are creating a business of multi-level crowd investing, and in the near future, we are doing our best quite seriously to actually launch a register of professions, a manager of multi-level crowd investing. So the register of occupations of many countries include investment consultant. Then our goal is to bring there, to include there the MLM manager, and to become one of the first companies like MV in multi-level business, to become the first company in the world in MLCI business. And as regards our staff, as regards your training, your education, I believe you are the best of the best, because a lot of networkers made a lot of money. A lot of people in the investment business came and made a lot of money, but when a crisis strikes, they lose a lot of money. I know a lot of people. So in 1998, their check was 250,000, but today they are actually very poor. You know, they actually still live in the 20th century. Computer or a smartphone is something unbelievable, something strange to them. We still have such people, but we are evolving. Blockchain, well, then we will do blockchain, because there will be crypto economy. So all the countries are actually preparing for this, and we need to catch up. And one of the goals is to grow up, up, up. And once I told you that my goals are very big because of one reason, because I have no right to think of small money, because in 10 years, when there is a person willing to earn $1 million US, then following the logic, the calculation, our top leaders should be trillionaires. So those that make trillions of US dollars. So one task is to expand our space in the brains, instead of 6 zeros to have 12 zeros, and to have it as a goal. I took it so long to answer the question someone from the English-speaking chat asked. So how we will attract people outside? So MLCI business, and through our company, through me, Andrei Havratov, Skyway company actually generated 70% of its investments to promote its project. So the people actually managed to elevate, to promote the project, which was quite a failure. There was a crisis situation in 2014, and at that time it should never have been Skyway. And then I opened this foundation for the support of innovative technologies, and we started to fund it. And yes, now there are a bit different terms and conditions of our cooperation. And you know, under our agreement signed for 20 years, we can actually take some steps away or get closer. This is a framework contract. You cannot actually cancel or terminate. It is effective within 20 years. and no party can actually terminate or cancel it. And as I told you, as if tomorrow we will go to the United Arab Emirates saying that you don't have money to construct your technologies in Dubai, we have 100 million, so actually let's construct these innovative technologies there. So then anyone will get this money. But for you to understand, in 30 years, Skyway Technologies will need 500 million US dollars to develop its project. Well, everything depends on the strategy selected. And the second important thing for all of you to understand, we are not simply making money. We are creating a community together with you that in 10 years, by 2030, there is no social crisis and economic crisis in the community of mankind. But actually, it may happen because of the robotization and automatization of the processes. If people are financially illiterate and are expecting someone to employ them, but today employment by someone or working for someone is the least safe job in the life. There should be several streams of income in your life. There should be investment way of thinking, investing in different segments of the market. This is one of our goals, which we actually pursue. And the presidents of different countries are talking about this, but we are doing this. And I was asked the question, why 15% of the population? When we have 15% of the global population in our community, they are those people with quite good money earning, and each person has a 3 or 4 member family. When 50 or 60%, so when about 50 or 60% of the population is left behind because of being substituted by robots, instead of actually being in the warfare, so they will have some other streams of income and they can live their lifestyles. None company in the world today, I can assure you, you can learn. Yes, there are a lot of fake guys, OneCoin company, which actually a crypto enthusiasm in Japan, and we are compared with this company, and I know the name of this crypto enthusiasm. So they didn't invest, but we invest in assets and we train people and tell them, look, this is what we learn, but this is what we do in practice. So we study theory and immediately apply it in practice. If we won't do it with you, some people will tell, I don't care. I paid the money. I want to get my money back, or I want to get a return. It's not a problem, actually. I want to get a return on my money. As soon as you get a desire, but look, in the investment business, so if you are in investment business for 10 years, what may you see? When you are more or less know the investment business, you get some dividends, some passive income from your investments, to say in 3 or 5 years. If you want or not, actually, you start sharing this with others. You start helping them. You start enrolling them to MLCI business, because we have this MLCI business. Therefore, dear friends, what we are doing today, and the one who comes to our business as a client or as an investor in order to get the passive income in the future without doing anything. So actually, sooner or later, you will stand up, you will put your ass up from the sofa and start doing something as well. Because the goal of any investment company is the long-term actions. And why Warren Buffett today, from the 1920s, his foundation, the trust fund, by the way, because people trust him. And throughout these years of over 80 years of his foundation, yes, 1929, there was a decline in 1970s, 1990s crises, but he survived. And in 40 years, he managed to show So you may say that our company is only 5 years old, but in 5 years, we actually showed that people can trust us, and what we say, we tend always to keep our promises, and the plan announced, we follow it. The only thing which we failed to do it is security token offer last October, but actually according to our plan, we didn't plan to do it. We should have done it by the October of 2020, but we wanted to do it by October last year, but the vendors, the developers, the contractors we had, they failed to explain all the peculiarities, and therefore we didn't manage to do it. But you may actually tell me that white paper and roadmap is not present yet, but we are preparing all this stuff, because this process involves not only me alone, but all our top leaders, our leaders of our company. Therefore, dear friends, whether to be active with us or we wait, you are to choose. But you know, in 5 years, a person will be feeling pity. Why hadn't I done it 5 years ago? Because get some training and get these training materials which actually you can benefit from, and you will get the growth rate. So there was a question, minus 30 plus 5. So there is the lowest threshold and the top threshold. We act as a regulator. There is oil fixing, and similarly in any country there is a regulator. There is a company following the principle of a company. Once I read 2 very powerful books. Business is war, a firm is a state. So any firm is like a country, is like a state, international company, international business, which follows the logic of a state. And business is a war, not with machine guns and the weapons, but the competition, who will penetrate the market faster and will retain this market, and who will evolve. So these are the processes. I read it in 2002. Business is a war, and a business, so a firm is a state. So first of all, 2 books. The first one is the strategy, whereas the second book is the tactics. And one businessman based on the military strategies actually made this book. And we as a company, inside our company, through this exchange process, we act as a regulator. A small example. In every country, there is a regulator as the national bank, the central bank, which actually fixes the exchange rate of the national currency into the foreign currency. Generally at 12 p.m. there is this fixing, and we will come to this as well, to this approach, when many of you would like to become the members of this fixing committee, because we are an international project. And as soon as this option is available, then in the committee, you can become a member to control. So oil fixing and other regulations. Whenever an exchange starts selling or buying something abruptly, the exchange breaks or stops for 15 minutes to cool down the traders. And this is a regulator. And the exchange is a closed system. You can never go to an exchange and buy something. You can get there through your broker. You need to verify, to sign a legal document. And in this case as well, we will act as a regulator in our system. And we as a regulator every week will actually announce this margin. 15 cents as a price fixed minus this percentage, because there were people from 2015 to 2017 with a lot of hypes and the large growth. And in 2018, there was the decline trend in crypto market. And why many good companies that operate even now, they actually went down a lot we've actually understand these reasons, and you can calculate 15 cents minus 30%. The lowest threshold for the exchange is 10.5 cents. 10.5 cents. So this is the minimum threshold. We, as the central regulator in this system, our system, we will regulate it this way. And the upper threshold plus 5%, we get 15.75 cents. And similarly, every week, we will announce this margin. And for this week, it is minus 30% and plus 5% for the upper threshold. Next Saturday, you will learn the margin for the next week, for 2 weeks ahead.
And the question is, who is going to be interested in it? People who are trading, like professionals. And if you would like to start trading. So we're now following the path of crypto companies who, the way they did it, the way they implemented it. Binance, a very simple example. You must have heard about it. You know that at first they launched their internal workings. They worked with Ethereum. So the first internal exchange, then Ethereum. They saw how it worked, and then they forked it, and then they have their own blockchain. So now we're going to make a fork of an established blockchain, and all of the blockchains are forks of other blockchains. And now we're gonna see the situation in the market, because it will be already a working market when a person can go there, pay $10,000 fee or $10 fee for joining the VIP club, and that person can already observe the entire process, and traders are going to be very much interested in it. So hopefully I answered your question. RSW, I went to SWIG with a big structure, and I think this is a merit of Unitsky, who allowed to go to SWIG. Well, you're correct. I remember when we launched it, I was in Lithuania, and the company had all accounts frozen, and then articles, they started publishing articles in Lithuania that it was a pyramid, etc. And for those 3 months, while they were taking care of the situation until the Skyway Capital was opened, we were the ones financing the project. So on the 30th of November, there should have been a financial statement, and on this 1st of December, it wasn't still there. So all our lawyers, all our they asked us, like, you know, what's going on. You can go and see. It was on the 22nd or 23rd of December. We had a webinar. I was there, and Unitsky was there. We were holding a webinar. There was no news from the company, and I told Anatoly quite an unpleasant thing, and he was quite upset with it. And I told him, if you don't report, if you don't have any financial statements to make, I will think that you are a pyramid, because you opened one company, then you open another company. We need to explain the situation to people. Let's be open with them. Let's get together and explain how it all works. If it weren't for SWIG, Skyway Investment Group, then over the period of 3 months, when all the accounts were frozen, I think even they couldn't even open up Skyway Capital back then. You might know that how many millions of euros were blocked on a Lithuanian account. They might have opened 3-4 months later, but then no one would have believed them by then. So you're saying that you went to SWIG. I think that I was just on time to open it. It was like a safety line for skyway. Because otherwise they wouldn't be existing today, I think. Business is war and the company is a state. I don't remember actually who was the author. Someone says, am I correct in understanding that during this month we will try and see how we can sell? No, guys, look, do not use the word sell. We're using the word exchange, and we're not selling or exchanging CRU shares, but points, guys. So those who bought their EIPs on the 30th of March 2019 and received CRU points, they will have 1% of those points released on the 9th from the amount they bought. So if they bought $8,000 worth of CRU, it was like 8-something million, or they bought it on the 31st of March or the 1st of April or the 2nd of April, then 350 days later, 1% of their CRU points will be released. You can do whatever you please with those points, and it will be migrated to Ethereum at the same time. So we have a lot of still a big line of entries to be made to the Ethereum, but we simply cannot increase the speed of data processing. We try to pay more, but you know, it's still slow, too slow for us. Okay. It's Hakimova Tamara. Tamara asked this question. Hopefully it's now clear. Sergey Voitenko. Okay, it was him. Now is the best moment to exchange points to CRU tokens. You can exchange them at the exchange that we established, which is 0.15 units, with the margin, with the spread that we're going to announce, -30 + 5. And then you can see what the price is going to be, the actual price is going to be in your back offices. When are we going to have our own blockchain, someone asks. So there are lots of distant questions. Tatiana says that, are we going to have a CRU exchange in the portfolio? Actually, that's not a correct question. Your CRU points that you have, you can exchange, you can like make a offer, like I would like to sell them at 15 cents. And then if there is someone who would like to buy at 15 cents, they will buy it. But your notice, your offer won't be visible. We can only see those buy offers, not sell offers. It is public offer, but then we will also have private offers, but they cannot be higher than the maximum margin and lower than the minimum margin. So they should be within that threshold, because we do not want to dump the market. So what will be the monthly income for released tokens and how it is going to be calculated? If you're exchanged your CRU points into units, then this amount will be debited from your account, and to the same amount, you will not receive the loyalty bonuses. So he will have this amount credited to him, you will have that amount debited from you, and you will receive a lesser loyalty program bonus. So Dragas showed how much we're going to have in our So I'd like to show it to you again. Dragas showed it already. If you place it for 1 month, it will be 1%. We're talking about the staking here. So for example, you would like to put on this depot account 10,000. So let's say you deposit 10,000 multiplied by 1%. It's 100 CRU is the amount that you are going to get on the 10th or 9th or 10th of April. And if then the price is 20 cents, or you simply keep them because you will receive loyalty program bonuses, profit bonuses. And if you want to sell it at 50 cents, do your math. Even if 20 cents plus minus the spread that we're going to have, multiply it by an average 15 cents, it's $15 from your 10,000 CRU points that you have. You will receive monthly in released CRU points. Leonid, what if we put the released token points on depot account? Will it be the will it be new CRU points accrued? No, it's not going to be new. It's going to be already released CRU points released by the company. So staking means that your CRU will be there. You cannot sell them, you cannot do anything. They are deposited. And for that, you're going to receive an interest. So if you put it for 18 or 12 months, well, you can see that the interest is higher. But when we create our own blockchain, then you'll have tokens, and then the interest will be paid in tokens. But we're gonna all include it in our tokenomics. We are going to work with a team of our blockchain developments in order to develop the roadmap, white paper, and tokenomics. But Maria will have a presentation on it as well. 1%, someone asks, 1% of the CRU points bought, or 1% from the points that you have at the moment? Look, guys, imagine that on the 30th of March, you bought a package, EIP, and you received as a bonus a certain number of CRU points. And now 1% of that amount of CRU points will be released. Let's say you received 100,000. 100 multiplied by 1%, it's 1,000. If you had 1 million CRU points multiplied by 1%, it's 10,000 CRU points unlocked, released. So in your case, it will be almost 4 million. So for this 49,000 released points. And if you put that 1%, which is 49,000, on a deposit account, depot account, then you'll have 1% if you put it for 1 month, and so on. You remember the table. And you will get that income monthly in released CRU points, already unlocked CRU points. Hopefully now it is all clear. Someone asks, is it obligatory for me to be a member of the VIP club if, what does it say here? If I'm buying EIPs. No, if you want to buy just EIPs, you may not. It's not obligatory for you to be a member of the VIP club, but VIP club offers quite a lot of perks and benefits. So someone says that the unlocking of 1% happens automatically. Yes. Every 30 days, you will have a new amount of your CRU points unlocked. If a person bought TNG shares and did not convert it and did not join CRU program, what is going to happen with those shares? You can still convert them. They will become. So we have obligations here. Those are our obligations. And if you do not convert them, they stay in our system, those shares, and they will be there. So when Skyway goes into the market, we will give those obligations, those shares to you, hand them over. So instead of shares, we will have like proper stocks, and any person who is entitled to those shares will get them. How many years we have to wait for the unblocking of all the unit CRU points? If you received both the bonus and those that you received in by purchasing the EAPs and within the marketing plan, then it will take you 540 days. So what's the difference between VIP member and those who are not members of the VIP club? VIP club members will be able to work with their unlocked token points when for the next 4 months, you will be able to see how it works for you to fully realize the inner workings. And then you will be able to participate in the internal exchange only if you are a member of the VIP club. But for the following 4 weeks, it will be free for all. Andre, someone says, I have concerns. We will be able to sell all of our released tokens when the company also sells them. Look, if we still sold from 500 to 50 to $500 packages, then it would be difficult. But now a new participant cannot buy a package from 550 to 500. The system will tell them this function is unavailable, and they can buy it only in installments. And if you make a purchase in installments, then your tokens will be released only 350 days later. But if you buy released token points today, you can, if you want, sell them tomorrow. So it's easy. You can see you can buy a tentative amount, like a test amount of released tokens, see how it all works, and then you decide whether to keep them or sell them. So if you want to invest $1,000, then I will tell to my new partners, invest $500 in buying released tokens, and the other $500 you purchase an EAP in installments. So why installments are better? Because the conditions are better. It's 7 and 7 cents, 7.7, but in 350 days. Here it might be not 7.7, but 14, 15, 13 cents. But then there will be growth according to our strategy. And then you can sell your tokens at 30 cents when it will be 30 cents. And you'll see how much you earned. You will have your money back, plus you will have a markup. So you get like 3 in 1 in this case. Like super training that you won't find anywhere else. Also an opportunity to get CRU points as a gift on a very good term, on very good terms. And if you purchase released tokens, you can sell them back on the very same day or on the day after, like in the real market. So we're now having negotiations, and our guys won't be able, trying to set up this external exchange for us to see all the transactions from CRU into units and from units into CRU, so that you're able to see immediately the price and see how you can take advantage of it. So it's very cool for traders and non-traders alike. So we have a question from the Italian chat as well. People are asking, what if they put 100,000 CRUs on a depot account for 24 months? Will they get the released points, token points, as an interest that they can use right away? So look, they will have interest paid every month, which they will be able to use right away. So those interests are not will not accumulate. You will be able to use those released interest based CRU points as you please. Every month you will get an X amount of CRU points depending on how much you deposited and for what period. So we have an investment. Guys, all the investment proposals should go to our investment board. So don't put it up here. We're now also having a tender to hire a managing company. So guys, all the investment projects will be reviewed and you will be contacted in 2 or 3 months. Guys, if you want money for your project, come and work with us. Russia is ranking 7th or 8th at the moment, and people saying, what if we come with our big organization and we would like to get 20% that our organization is going to yield for our investment project? And there was this proposal we had to meet, and the meeting did not take place. But then I don't know why. I told them, if you have a good project, come to us, and build your network, and if your network yields $10 million, we will sign right away an agreement with you that $2 million, because 40% goes to buy assets, those $2 million we will invest in your project. But we need, of course, to do our due diligence, because what if your project will ruin our reputation? If everything checks, if everything is okay, then build your network and you will be fully entitled to demand, not even ask. The way we're doing it in India, we have a very good project there. Now we would like money raised in India to be reinvested back into the Indian economy. That's our goal. Someone says that the marathon runners are paying now 100 units every month as installments. Are you going to count that in towards our membership fees? No, guys, look, marathon is one thing, while membership fee is another thing. It's one of the ways how we can nicely package it. And for now, we have several entry points, but then we'll have the entry to the VIP club through the Academy of a Private Investor. And those of you who are paying 100 units right now as a marathon participant, you have very good opportunity when we move on to the next stage, 2.2, 2.3, then for the same money that you are paying right now, which is 100 units, the content will be completely different. Someone says that we are now on Ethereum blockchain, and will our tokens be migrated from our blockchain or Ethereum blockchain to our own blockchain? Well, guys, we're using Ethereum blockchain to display the amount of tokens issued. We are showing like all the tokens issued, and then everyone has a depository. like a wallet, the number of CRU points that you have in your personal accounts, and if they have already been migrated to Ethereum, you can go and see, because people can say, well, Havratov can cheat you out of all of your token points. Now, if all those token points have been migrated to Ethereum, there is no way to cheat you out of those tokens. But we're still a closed community. But when we create our own blockchain, and in Ethereum, you cannot delete those entries. Once they're there for good. So when all our entries are migrated to the blockchain, our blockchain, they will still stay on Ethereum. You cannot hide them, you cannot delete them. They're there. This is your proof of your ownership of your token points. So when we have our own blockchain, we will still have a database which will be regulated as well. Because what if something happens to the blockchain? We will have a copy in the database as well, and the other way around. For example, I don't know, they hack our blockchain, like it happened with Ethereum, Bitcoin. But then we have a backup database with all our information. And guys, our database is kept on 4 servers at the moment. If one server is being attacked, we have it all on the second server. So as for our database, it is decentralized in a way because the data is kept on 4 servers. Okay? 4 servers, that's where all the information is stored. But what's unique about blockchain is decentralization. The more nodes there are, the more miners there are, the more decentralization of your blockchain you have. So it's decentralization, not centralization. That's why we're moving in that direction.
Where will we distribute the proceeds from VIP Club? 50% is marketing, 37% is marketing, 8% operational costs and taxes, and 10% will be allocated from the proceeds of the VIP Club. It will be an additional bonus under the loyalty program only for VIP members. So the CRU token points. So we've discussed it a lot because there were proposals to terminate the loyalty program, but actually the loyalty program is that we are making payments to the brand ambassadors. But fortunately or unfortunately, a part of leaders actually convinced all the others that we cannot terminate it because if a person makes one, my reasoning is that in case a person makes only one purchase, he is not loyal to the company. But nonetheless, we decided to retain it. 5% for the first part and another 5% for the second part. And 10% of the loyalty program from the VIP Club will be allocated additionally to the people who will be loyal and members of the VIP Club this month. For instance, this month, so the VIP Club will be launched in April for the people to see. So we will tell you that these opportunities are available to everyone, but the other package of opportunities will be available only to the VIP members. But in March, everything stays as it is. And then exchange will be available only for the VIP members. Then learning this margin, weekly spread, again, it will be option available to the VIP members. Why? Because then you can actually grow your volumes and tell your network, guys, the margin starting from next week will change and the price will be as such. If you are now a member, then for the next week, the minimum threshold is this one. Or you can wait for another one, for another margin 2 weeks after. And then on Saturday, Sunday, you can actually work harder to make sure that a person comes to the unlocked one at one price, but then starting from Monday, the margin will be different. So this is the news available to the VIP club members, and some discounts to our specialized courses, a special course which will be called Postponed to May, the investment consultant. We will have a new course called Silver, Gold, Platinum, again available only to VIP club members and at discounted prices. If you are not a member of this club, you won't get access to these products, but these are very important products we will offer to our people. And 5 countries, me personally, I will visit them to run these offline trainings, and these offline trainings for members of the VIP club will be available, so the price will be discounted. If not, then the standard price. The third benefit, so mining option. When mining will be ready, and the vendors actually promise that in 3-4 months nodes will be available, and we can get these nodes for the purposes of mining. Again, it will be available only to the members. And another instrument, if we are lucky to cope with this by the anniversary of the crypto unit program, so the new tool, the new instrument, TNG back office will be functional, but not Skyway group back office. So it will be totally new for some people in some segments with, but again, VIP club members will learn this. So these are those opportunities associated with investment, financial markets, educational markets, which will be available only to these members. So there will be public information available to everyone, and only to those available, and the information available only to members of this VIP club. So I believe that all the management of the company have converted everything in Skyway. Actually not, because over the last time we have about 300,000 registrations, and why I don't want actually to convert them, because these people joined our company with different actually principles, and during the marathon there will be a topic how to monetize your registrations, because the number of registrations increases, we see it goes up, but the volumes do not grow. But there is the marketing strategy which helps you monetize this. An easy example, a simple example for you to understand. 520,000 people registered at that time in Swig back office, 200,000 people. When we launched on the 30th of March the crypto unit program, let's do the math. What happened? And the entrance was closed to support Skyway company. Out of 500,000 people registered, 420,000 transferred by November. But within these 4 years, these people, within 4 years, these people were not active. Then they joined the crypto unit program. Why? To get those products the crypto unit program offers. Out of 500,000, the number of active was about 50,000. So 50,000 active people making the first, the second, the third purchases or some installments. And then as soon as we launch a new program, these people, so we phoned them, and they were saying no, never phone me back. And then in 7 months, these 420,000 people moved to this new program. I am a marketologist with many years experience, because in 1 year I was the best salesperson, in 3 years the best person as regards the volumes. So I used some unusual practices both in network business and in the internet business when I set up the Academy of Private Investor. I understand when there is an increase in subscribers, and then it is followed up by monetization. Now we have 1,300,000 and we are preparing a very interesting product you cannot even imagine. And I agree, so I'm sure that these people will be caught by this new product. But what will you get who worked with us before? Monetization, increasing your checks, your bonuses, and more opportunities. Why we are actually selecting this PR company? And my goal, so now we have 100,000 registrations a month, but my next goal is to have 1 million registration a month. This is our goal to be reached with our PR company and our MLCI structure. And here I don't want to give database to anyone. What happened actually in 4 or 5 years? We attract people, but they are actually evaded from us. They are stolen from us. And when we attract people to totally new things or products, no one actually will be able to steal them, to attract them, to headhunt them, because we have a portfolio, and a person will say, I'm creating my portfolio. Can anyone exchange CRU to units? Unlocking takes place in 350 after you're buying EIPs. So 350 days after the unlocking starts. If your unlocking is in June, then in June, the CRU point will be at least inside our system 30 cents. For you, it's even better when you have this unlocking, but in June, July, you made your purchase, the opportunities were worse, but when unlocking reaches you, the price per CRU point will be much more attractive. But the people who receive it through depot account, imagine which price you will get as soon as we hit the market. Exchange will be in LK or Ethereum. But all these exchanges, all these transactions, they are all actually a bit. Ethereum slows us down. Every week we planned to put these entries, but now there is a queue of this. So is it possible inside the back office, the transfer to other partners? No, transfer is not available, only exchange. Why we did it? And actually we discussed this possibility, but there were some unpleasant cases when clients contacted me and said, Andrei, you are the CEO and there is such a guy, your partner, who took from me 5,000, and then he said that in the back office of CRU I will have this EIP and will get this number as my gifts, but out of 5,000 I see in my back office only 1,000. So to prevent this, we act as the guarantor of these delayed or postponed orders. So we act as a guarantor that we created this, and because if you can transfer your CRU in the back office, it means that you can negotiate with him or her to say 10,000, but these CRU are not transferred, and then this person will contact the management to avoid this fraud inside our system. But there are a lot of fraudsters everywhere, because we investigated these cases not only in Russia, in other countries, in Australia, in India. Andrei, so please help to deal with this. I gave money to a person, but in my back office, I see nothing purchased. I will even enter and have a look.
Why the seal is no longer?
We are new TNG. It's not a new company, because you may think that this is a new company. No, the company is the same. It was renamed only with the same registration number, with the same legal address. It was simply renamed. It was called RC Invest Group, but now it is called TNG. Now I will go and have a look whether there is this seal, and I will then find it out why the certificates have no seals. Well, look, guys, actually, what happened? We may not send you the certificates with a seal to your back office because of one reason. Because by sending the certificate for shares, and you have the exchange, and then you will get a certificate to say for TNG. Well, I will double check it. My portfolio certificates. Quite probably the reason you don't have your seal. Thank you very much for your question. I will try to clarify it. Marina, if you are here, this is our support desk. So please write this down to ask it to raise this question against our brand book. So why they didn't put a seal of TNG? Because in my old certificates of RSW Investment Group, I will try to make a purchase. Actually, no, I can't do it. No, it is still possible. EIP, standard AIPs. I will double check it myself. A notice. Congratulations. Thank you very much for congratulating. Is it possible to get one single certificate for all the purchases, but not 3 separate certificates for 3 purchases? No, it's not possible, and I will explain why. Because in TNG back office, there are serial numbers. And we have the serial numbers as well. And you can order only one. If there are any further questions, old certificates. Look, I have a new certificate, but with RSW Investment Group. I will show it to you. Certificates and seals or stamps of RSW Investment Group, the number of the certificate, the number, and if I want to convert it, it will be converted upon my request. TNG back office and the certificates there. Let's have a look. So my portfolio is converted, and it means that they are debited from our large certificate with some numbers, serial numbers, and they're distributed in the company. Certificate, you can download it. Or you can actually manage its delivery, transfer acts, to transfer to Skyway Invest Groups this number of Unisky Corporation, SW, where we transfer all the shares. You can actually see it in the back office. The extract from the register, I can actually print it out, this extract from the registry or register, and similarly, you get the evidence that you made the purchases with us and you get them as bonuses. Any other questions? $1,000. This is the requirement of the company. Payment of the VIP under the marketing plan? Yes, it will be done under the marketing plan. As far as I understand, for notes, there will be boxes and income and earnings will be different. Yes, so we will sell it, retail it, and we actually will make this product. And by the way, there is a franchise for the genius of finance whereby you can actually make earning on education, which is very meaningful to the people. Those who took genius of finance training, not as a host, as a facilitator, after the first, the second, the third session, even the first session of genius of finance. So please put a plus in the chat if you have a better understanding of investing after playing it.
Someone says, Andre, where will the money go from the membership fees? To the new portfolio? Well, in order to be even more progressive, we need to do very good promotion, like cars, apartments. So part of the money from the membership fees will be used on marketing as well, for people who do promotion, who develop our brand. So all the money that we save, we always invest in our portfolio. So that's why when we launched Crypto Unit, when Crypto Unit program was launched 1 year ago, we started it from like scratch. We didn't have lots of money. So I wanted you to understand, guys, this is quite an important thing. When I'm saying like didn't have lots of money, I said, like I said not a penny to our name, but you know, what we did not really start it from scratch, from zero. We already had $12 million. So that's how we launched our program. We had $12 million in our portfolio because we accumulated. We saved money over the over the period of 5 years. So instead of spending it, we accumulated it. And I present, for example, I have a check, yes, but I earn much more as a network marketer. So I'm not really even interested in the salary as a company CEO. So all that money that we raised was saved, and we also used the Skyway as well for promotion. And instead of spending that money that we raised on myself or any other needs, we invested it into our development with the average capitalization of 26% per day. And when we opened this program a year ago, I told everyone, can you show any company with similar capitalization? And we didn't really start from scratch, from zero. We started from $12 million. The assets already owned by the company, like real estate, stocks, etc. Well, 55% back then, it was the stocks of Skyway. And then we also explained why those assets were liquid. Well, for others, it might not have been liquid, but for us, it was. So we expanded, and at our reporting meeting, I showed it already, and you can go and rewatch it, how much money we have in the portfolio and why it is bigger even than it was supposed to be, because we still had some residual money from when we were in SWIG. And this is a good upside for all of the crypto unit participants. I see 130 messages here. Those who are in the Eurasian personal account, they will be transferred to your TNG account. You will get the same amount in the TNG because it is all put in one pot, but then we will debit it from there and credit it to the TNG account. We will do it eventually, even manually if need be. Someone says exchange of released points into units will be carried out both through the company and the exchange. Look, at the moment you can do it in the closed community, but all the information related to those transactions will be passed on to the blockchain as well. At the moment, Ethereum based, but then we'll have our own blockchain and now our own exchange. So let's go and see at the history of cryptocurrency exchanges like Binance. Binance used to be quite a good community. And that community that Binance had helped them become what they are right now. Now we have our own community, and our position, our situation is even better than Binance had it. So if our situation is better than Binance had back in the day, then we need all of those top exchanges come to us. That's why we're doing it first internally, and then we will migrate it to Ethereum blockchain for everyone to see what's going on inside. And our crypto enthusiasts will show it as well. Like, look, everything that has been said and promised, it's happening. So we held a tender. We're going to develop our own blockchain. We're going to migrate all the data to our blockchain. And there will be such a resonance in the crypto community. Guys, the tender that we had, there were different candidates and teams. They showed us how much money they raised since 2015. And to our presidential council, I wrote, do they know how much we did over the last year, how much money we raised over the last year? And someone told me, if they knew, they would simply go bananas. And one of the companies knew, and they were actually saying, why do you need external exchange? It's like third-party exchange. You have it all already. And when we have your own exchange, everyone will come to you instead you going out and seeking them. So you have a big community, and we are increasing by at least 100,000 per month. And when our growth rates will be 1 million people per month, then we'll have all of the top exchanges coming to us. And not only, because we have some plans now that are quite far reaching, and people from the investment, big players from the investment world will come over to us and would like to make friends with us. Okay, Leonid is asking, Andrei, are we gonna have bonuses within the loyalty program and Profi bonus on CRU points that are deposited on staked on a depot account? Yes, of course, because those CRU points are yours. You did not sell them, so you being the owner are entitled to the loyalty program bonuses and Profi bonuses. CRU points on depot account, can they be mined? No, guys, look, at the moment they cannot be mined. Those are points given as a gift. When we have our own main token, that's what you can mine, but we will not tell you the name of the token, because as soon as we mentioned in December what kind of tokens we were preparing for Ethereum, a lot of different copycats across the world appeared. There is already a crypto unit out there with the pinkish color. And they also raise money now. The lawyers are trying to address the situation, how we can shut them down. But they know in Ethereum you can do anything you want. Okay, I'm trying to read all other questions here. Okay, someone says, Raisa says, in my structure, I have a lot of elderly partners and they're asking a question regarding the conversion of Skyway shares. All the Verifiance account have already their Skyway shares converted. What should they do? You don't need to do anything. So you are in Skyway company, everything is rosy. Well, if you had it with us, then it would be even better. And at my reporting meeting, we told you why it would have been better. Okay, friends, look, I see that the questions are repeating themselves. Guys from the Italian, English, Spanish chats, do we have any questions that have not yet been asked? Because it has been already 2 hours speaking, and 1 hour was taken by our leaders and 2 hours by me. So guys, I had to do it because I guess I'm in the best position to really answer those questions. Faiz, the question you asked about separation from Skyway, has already been covered. I don't think it will be covered within this webinar. Coefficient within the loyalty program is not yet determined. Yes, it will be determined shortly. Mr. Andrei Haratov, when one CRU is going to cost $10, someone says. According to our plans that we have, and I'm going to show them to you, but they are in Russian, unfortunately, but we have a 3 months delay with our blockchain. It will depend on when blockchain is launched. So they are promised, the IT team promised us 3-4 months. So you need to add those 3-4 months to the original timelines that we had. So we should have started in January, 15 cents, 20 cents in February, the third month. And then for April, 20, May, 25 cents. So the number of people, the number of merchants in this table, the number of nodes, number of transactions, megabyte per node of storage, number of megabytes per the cost of 1 megabyte, storage, etc. All those factors should be taken into account, plus the assets that we have. So only this should give us, and you ask $10 per CRU. Let me see. So $10 and $11. It's the 5th month of 2022, according to our original plan. Just based on this, not counting our assets. That's the math that I did for our CRU. Maureen Thatcher, yes, It has been said in the beginning of the webinar. If you go higher, you pay more. So for example, if we go back and see, where does it says $10, $11 per CRU, we need to have 123 million people. The number of merchants is almost 10 million. It's the connected entrepreneurial points. 555,000 nodes. Number of transactions should be 24 million megabyte, 24 gigabytes. So this is what we need to have to get at $10 per CRU, not counting in the assets. And the amount of assets should be 569 million worth of assets, which will yield a much higher capitalization. So this is the amount purchased without the market value of the assets. Already this should yield us a cost of $10 per CRU. If we meet all the requirements, then the price will be this. If we don't, then the price will depend on the work that we're doing. So, and what's unique about our work, dear guys, is that none of the companies, investment companies that you have out there, they tell you, give us your money, we will make more money, but you cannot in any way influence their operations. Whereas we are considering projects where we can, by investing, capitalize it even more by involving more and more community to be users of the projects that we're investing in, both physical individuals and entrepreneurs, like legal entities, and we're going to offer them very good services to attract and catch new clients. So also I would like to, guys, emphasize in this table that in 45 months, the plans, 44 months that in the plans that we have, we would like to have our CRU cost at least $51. For that, we need to have 1.3 billion people. The number of merchants should be almost 50 million. The number of nodes, almost 4.8 million. When we have the at least 5 million nodes, will be the biggest distributed ledger in the world. And you can imagine all the perks that it offers us. It's just an insane relations with lots of data storages out there. The number of transactions should be 1.5 billion. Number of megabyte per node, 540 million. And the overall amount raised should be 24.8 billion raised for the purchase of assets. So this is eventually will give us the price of a CRU of $51. So we have all the math, and it's mathematics. And you can do the calculations and see how different results can be obtained. And thanks to the multi-level crowd investing, you can actually, multi-level system, you can calculate precisely how you can raise a next amount of money. We have a question from the Italian chat. We have a number of questions. Those who would like to buy CRU right now at the internal exchange, will they have to be members of the VIP club, or in the first months they can do it without being members? Yes, for the first months, everyone can participate in the exchange, not only members of the VIP. And then if you are a newcomer, you pay just 10 units to be members of the VIP club. Well, there is also be a commission fee when exchanging. We're working with Ethereum right now. On our blockchain, we'll have another commission, definitely lower, but at the moment is 0.25 units per transaction. Well, and then when you enter, you pay 10 units. When you become consultant, you pay more. If you become a manager, then you pay even more. So there is like a whole tariff grid out there. Well, a lot of questions, guys, you are asking that have been already answered. You should have listened more attentively. So, but for you guys who are newcomers and old timers, I'm sorry for have already been talking for 2 hours, but we'll have the internal exchange open quite in the near future. So I want you to know how to work it already. As Andrew said, by our 1-year anniversary, we have already delivered almost 85% of what we promised. And I think this is really great. Of course, when you set goals, you hope to perform 100% of those goals on time. What we did, we performed almost 85% of it. So you can go back and rewatch all our webinars, everything that we said, like when a year ago we were talking about the launch of the crypto unit program, what we promised, what we announced that we would have, and you can check them against the reality. So guys, we are performing our obligations. Things happening to our partner, the Innovative Transportation Technologies, we are splitting ways, but I think it's a good thing for our company, for our work. At least now we have a lot of proposals coming our way and a lot of different opportunities out there, much better than we had with our previous partner. We will wait for our partner to deliver on their obligations, and we will see what's going to happen out of their negotiations in Dubai, in the Sharjah, and other countries. Well, let's hope that it will all come to fruition. And as our partner said, that we were slowing them down. Now we're not slowing them down anymore. Hopefully, they will deliver on their obligations and promises sooner without us slowing them down, quote unquote. So for me, it is important that we have more and more registered users and marketing and monetization processes, thanks to our new line of our products, which we're going to launch within 15-40 days. A line of new products available for the members of the VIP club. Very good product for those people who would like to have better conditions. That's why the VIP club exists in the first place. Well, dear friends, another thing that I wanted to say is that in the life of any person, yesterday I watched a movie. Well, I browsed it. It was Man of Steel, like the Superman, there was this situation on their planet, and he went to the church, and the priest said, "You want to confess?" And he said, "Yes, I'm the crypto. What is a kryptonite? Krypton resident that they are hunting, But I'm not sure that the Earthlings are ready to take me for what I am." And the priest gave him a wonderful reply. He said, "Look, you need to make yourself believe first, and confidence will come later. So if you like something, enjoy doing something, try finding arguments why you should do it." So faith should not always be blind, or better, I don't want to have blind followers, people with blind faith. Always double check, do your due diligence. As far as the investments are concerned, do your due diligence. You should haste, but do it slowly. So first, faith should be based on facts and you looking into it. That's why we're telling you, look into the 8 rules of a private investor, come to the Genius of Finance, attend our open webinars, slowly make money with the opportunities that you have and invest them into education. And by educating, you will have faith. You will start making yourself believe because you're digging deeper. And then the 100% confidence comes that everything is going to be well, because your faith is not simply based on someone else's success story, but on your knowledge, on your education. There is also a movie called On the Edge with Anthony Hopkins. it might have been translated differently, or the original title might have been different, but this movie shows the philosophy of a billionaire and the philosophy of a pleb, actually. And it was about this survival situation. They were in Alaska somewhere, and this grizzly bear, and there was this, yes, Alec Baldwin was it in as well, and they had a grizzly bear chasing them. And the philosophy of a billionaire, he said, we're gonna win. We're gonna defeat that bear. And that guy says, how can you defeat a bear? Your billions are not gonna help you here. And he grabs him by the collar and says, calm down. You need to say that we're gonna defeat it. And he's showing him a box of matches where an Indian kills a bear barehanded. So what they did is they made a spear, they made a pit, and when the bear actually attacks you, it raises on its two hind legs, and when it attacked, the bear fell on the spear that was planted in the ground. So he's telling him, look, if that guy managed it, we can do it as well. And he grabbed him by the collar and said, say you believe me. Say you believe me that we're going to defeat him. And he said, yes, I do. And if someone did it, then there is no reason why you shouldn't do it too. You can do it even better than the... And what happened? They killed a bear with their bare hands, but with a spear, of course. And why did the millionaire win? Because they had knowledge, and having knowledge, they knew how to do it, and that's where confidence comes. So go watch that scene. Sometimes you have to believe, make yourself believe, and then confidence will follow suit. So guys, I'd like to wish you to believe in your own strengths. If you're already in this company, if you're interested in at least something, but you do not have yet the full understanding of it, dig deeper. Ask questions to your sponsor. Ask questions. Ask for information from the person who works with you to get more confidence. We're building the new economic evolution of the world. As Andrew said, one of the tasks is not just to change the economy. We're not going to change anything. We're going to improve the condition of Earth dwellers, of the entire population, because what's in store for us has also unpleasant things in it. I'm talking about the global events, and we need our partners to be users of the company they invested, of the services of the companies they invested in. And by being users of the services and products of the companies they invested in, they generate revenues and the sales of those companies. And by consumption, they can influence all those global processes. And those things have the highest evaluations at the moment. We wouldn't have so many registrations and positive feedbacks that we're having right now without it. So dear friends, I would like to wish you faith, big faith. And next Saturday, on the 9th at 9 a.m. Greenwich time, we're gonna have our launch of our internal blockchain. Make videos, share your feedbacks, but guys, never ever use the word selling. Exchange, okay? Very paramount. It's of paramount importance. Next Saturday, you're gonna know the spread for the next week and the further news of our company. This is it from me. Take care. This has been Andrei Havratov.